Oh my.
Hi.
Welcome back to Rivers of Margaret. The life and legacy of Margaret Curle will be shared through stories of her love for Christ and all people. I'm your host, Martha Sue French. I'm also the youngest of 6 children of Howard and Margaret Curle. Now, this is part 2 with the Curle kids, and today's episode is entitled Gratitude.
Are you all right?
Huh? Oh, okay. This poem is featured in the poetry book, From My Heart to Yours. Almost getting discombobulated here. And again, all the poetry books are available on Amazon.com. Just type in Margaret Naomi Curle and they should come up. So today we're going to jump right back into sharing stories and photos. And this episode is more, I guess, paying homage to our ancestors. Because remember, life is short, but eternity is forever. So here's the poem. It's short and sweet. Gratitude. Thank God for the money we earn so we're able to buy the food we put on our table. Thank God for the strength that we muster each day so we can work and help pay our way. Thank God for each and every penny. Thank God for a job, for some don't have any. Thank God for money, and may we not squander, but use it wisely, then don't let us wander away from God or to others be rude, but be kind and thus show God gratitude. Again, that's Gratitude by Margaret Naomi Curle.
All right.
In the book From My Heart to Yours. Okay, so at the end of the last episode, we were talking about just different stories and everything. So I'm just going to try to jump in before we show the photos. Any stories, particularly of mama and or daddy, that you all can think of that you would like to share?
It's so many to remember. It's, as you get older, all of these things come back and you remember them and you sit and you laugh and you cry. But I told you one about the pancakes, right? On mine when I was
yes.
on. I don't know if anybody.
It hasn't aired yet. It airs on July the 2nd.
Yeah, but I don't know if anybody remembers me talking about it. Mama was cooking pancakes at the stove and Daddy was at the table, and she had brought his pancakes over and set them down, syrup, butter, coffee. He had everything right there, knife or whatever. And she went back to the stove and cooking some more, and he sounded just like a little kid. Mama, she said, "What is it, Daddy? Will you come and pour my syrup?" I said, "You better not pour her syrup." She said, "Things were different back then, and come and pour that syrup." I was like, "All right now." And he just, that little grin he can give. Yeah, he looked at that little grin like, yeah, say something else.
Pour my syrup.
Oh, it was. I don't know if Jeremy was talking about the donut.
I don't know if he told that one.
Does anybody remember the donut?
Oh, absolutely. It seems like I was there.
He can tell it. He was there. He could tell it. But I mean, it was yeah. But did y'all ever notice Daddy would pick on Mama, but he would know when to stop?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh
yeah. He would. Yeah. She would be sitting in the chair. Mama, wake up and go to sleep. And but she would get up. We would all be sitting there. She would get up and go to the bathroom. And soon as she got in that bathroom, he would go rattle that door. "Mama, what you doing, Mama?" She said, "Daddy, I'm using the bathroom."
Oh, you know what?
I have to use it. What, honey?
Do y'all remember this? Because this was after Daddy had retired, I think. And remember, oh my gosh, I think looking back on it, that's the only time Mama got reprieve was when Daddy was at work. Because after he retired, after he retired, Daddy was like, Mama could not have a minute's rest. And you remember he was a worry war. He was just like, but remember Mama that St. John's wort in his food? He didn't know it. Y'all remember that? It's supposed to calm your nerves. If you look it up, it's called St. John's wort.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember her calling me and telling me about it.
Very wart.
She was she was putting it in Daddy's food because he wouldn't like take it because it's supposed to come. He, like you said, mama, mama. And she was putting it in his food to try to get him to calm down.
I remember one Sunday, you know how they did on Sunday. They cool till Sunday come, and then of course she'd get up and get everybody ready and whatever. But
that was my story.
He left her. He went off and left her. She wasn't ready. He left her. And then after church, people were calling, Miss Margaret, how you feeling? And she was like, what? Yeah, Mr. Howard said you were sick today. That's why you couldn't come to church. She said, I was not sick. He ran off and left me. He don't you tell people that. Don't tell you. She told it. Yeah.
Okay, I remember. Okay, this involves cursing. I'm just letting y'all know ahead of time.
Who's cursing?
But it's funny. It's funny. Okay, it's in the old house, right? And it's like Daddy got so flustered. He didn't know what to say because you remember outside of the bathroom, which wasn't really operable, there was like it seemed like it was a lard can or something we would set out. And I remember I was sitting on that big old can, like, and Mom and Dad, like you said, they was fussing about something. And Daddy came out and he said, I don't remember what word he said initially, but then Mama was like, you say that in front of your child. You see your child sitting right there. And he said, I mean, damn it, shit.
No.
You see, Dad.
Really?
Mama said something. He said, because he was just on a stuttering spree of cursing at that point. He's like, damn it, shit. It was so, and I'm just sitting there with my head down. I ain't trying to look up and say,
oh, believe that.
You ain't gonna get me caught.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
that's the first time I ever heard that.
Oh my gosh, it was funny. It was hilarious. And remember how slow Dad used to drive to church?
Oh my Lord.
The older he got, the faster he drove. But in his younger days, he would go, oh my gosh, it would be.
He was a safe driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Daddy would go around the square in E-Town and the light would be green, like right there by the State Theater.
And he
would slow down, waiting for it to turn yellow.
I remember.
Look, hey, one time we borrowed the truck and went up, I think it was to Granada Bales and them to get some furniture or something. You remember this, Billy? And Daddy borrowed the truck. No station wagon up there. Well, but here's what I remember. We was on the interstate coming back, and the cop stopped us, and he said, "Mr. Curle," he said, "just like there is a speed limit, there is a speed minimum, and you ain't at it. You're gonna cause a wreck." Daddy was going so slow. I mean, people was all up behind us, blowing horns and shaking their fist. No, I don't remember that. No, I must not remember. I remember that. But look, going to Murfreesville.
Huh?
Now I remember this one, Jenny.
Go ahead.
Going to Murfreesville, when you get to that certain place, going up over that by that sawmill, right where you go up to there. Pine Ridge Hill. The road going to Murfreesville turns into 2 lanes where the slow traffic can get over to the right. And we got to that place, and Daddy stayed over in the left lane.
I think I was about
14. I remember that behind us, and they was going by us, shaking their fist and cussing and giving us fingers and everything else. And we said, "Daddy, what's that lane for?" He said, "That's for slow traffic."
I remember that.
That's for slow traffic.
I remember that. I was in there.
Do you all remember Jamie telling he was at Pizza Hut with his friends?
Yeah.
And the police stopped Daddy. You remember that?
I remember that.
I don't remember.
He went out there and Jamie said, I don't know what they stopped him for, but I know it wasn't for speeding. So I don't know what it was.
Jamie was in Pizza Hut.
Yeah, he was at Pizza Hut. I remember that.
They had stopped. Like I say, Daddy, when he got older, he was flying. I was to get in the car with Daddy.
He got 2 speeding tickets right there by the sewing factory. He got 2 speeding tickets out there by the sewing factory, by the Hodgenville City Police, and he was going home speeding. Speeding.
But I
The
remember
older,
two
the
speed
older
drive.
Daddy got, the
After he
faster he
retired.
drove.
I didn't know. Monica, I didn't
Yes,
know
after
that
he
Daddy had
retired, he got two speeding
But I
tickets.
remember when he would
Sure did.
drive, he would have to look to the
Yeah.
left, see what was going on. Look to
Y'all
the
remember when he would practice waving at people?
Yeah.
Right.
It'd be like this. It'd be like one
Leave
finger.
my daddy alone.
It'd be like two fingers. It'd be like
There you go.
Hey,
pointing.
here's what.
Oh
Hey,
no! If he was
I
real excited,
remember.
it'd be the whole hand.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
we'd
It'd
be
be
in
like,
the back
because remember,
seat.
it'd be like it wasn't nobody around. Daddy, who you waving? He was practicing waving.
He was practicing
Practice.
waving.
We'd be in the back seat. We'd be in the back seat and we'd meet somebody and we'd roll the window down and look, wave, and then they would wave it. They would wave at Daddy because we was waving at him. Daddy said, "Who was that?" Hey, look, hey, we don't know who it was, but hey, Daddy would wave back at him and say, "Who was that?"
Yeah, y'all were
And
terrible.
we'd be back in
man.
the back seat with our hand out the window waving.
Like I said,
That's
that
right.
but those are the things that we can remember. You know what I'm saying? Those are memories nobody can take away
Yes.
from us. And by
Right.
Yes.
at least memorializing them here, we can pass these memories on.
Yes.
I just wish that, our grandkids would, knew Daddy. And the thing is, Jace was just what, a few months old. He's the only
4 months old.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Right.
But great grandchild.
But you know what?
Great grandchild.
And he was 15
God-
months old when Mama passed. So she got to see it
Yeah.
just a little more,
Yes. God put them together because for Daddy's faith, he was the eternal pessimist. And he loved the Lord. He knew what God could do. But he was the eternal pessimist, and Mama was the eternal. She was the optimist.
Yeah.
They went together.
Perfect.
Daddy
Perfect.
would be
Yeah.
worried about a bill or something, and Mama would calm him down.
Yeah.
But God
Yeah.
put them together because Daddy
Perfect
was
couple.
he was one of the strongest Christians that I ever met. But he was a pessimist, and and we all have that, they're to a certain point. But for them to be such faithful Christians and know what the Lord can do, God put them together for that reason. Because to Daddy, the glass was half full. I mean, half empty. To Mama, what was half full.
And there is that poem that I haven't
yeah.
read, as optimistic Annie and pessimistic Pete.
Pessimistic Pete. Yeah.
Right.
But
Yes,
you know
yes.
what? But you know what I feel, and it's I guess it's too late now, but Mama was robbed of her family,
Capabilities.
of her family, because she, because grandma had her out of wedlock,
Mhm.
and she did not know the other side of her family.
Yeah.
Because even in her diary, she say Mr. James, what'd she say, Mr. James Smith?
And Miss Sophie. She
And
said
Miss
Mr.
Sophie
James
came.
and Miss Sophie.
And she
Oh,
didn't
that's
know
what
that
she would say.
she didn't know that was her dad.
Yeah.
And she didn't
Right.
know
Right.
that other side, and it was because they wanted to keep it quiet or
Yeah.
a secret.
Right.
Or
No,
hush.
she didn't know until Granddad died about Uncle Jim, right?
Right.
Yeah. Because that's when we
Right.
met.
That's when we knew about him. Because I remember us saying,
Yes.
why are y'all crying? And,
Yeah.
that's our grandfather.
That's our grandfather
Who
too.
was he? Who was he to you? Our grandfather.
No,
they
no,
looked
he's
at us
not.
like he was our grandfather too.
And
Like,
that's the
my
part I
mama-
remember.
And my mama's the only child. Well, my
Uncle Daddy.
daddy's the only child. Wait a minute.
And we
Now,
said,
Didn't Granddad
Amen.
die in 1975? Didn't him and Mammy die the same year?
75.
Okay.
75. Yep.
I thought him and Mammy died the same year. Do y'all remember Little Caesar?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
of course.
You remember
Yeah.
the Jackson, Sue? Jackson
Oh my
5?
gosh, yeah. We had matching outfits at the state fair. I remember we had
Body
bodysuits.
Do y'all remember what Granddad called us?
No.
Little
Little
people.
people.
Little people.
Little people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the little
Little
people today?
Yes, yes, yes.
I wish-
and Granddad's saying was, I might not be right, but I
But
am
I'm
never
never
wrong.
wrong. That's right.
Somebody said, I
I'm
might
never
not
wrong.
always be
They
right,
always
but I'm
say
never wrong.
Yeah.
right, but I ain't never
He
wrong.
was
I'm
so
never
he
wrong.
was so
Say that.
so dapper.
I
Yeah.
wish
Yeah.
I had, well, I'm gonna have to go back and do more ancestry. That's what I was telling, I think Ann or one of y'all.
Martha said,
Past, I don't know our family past our great grandpeople, because I know there had to be sisters and brothers, you know what I'm saying? There has to be
Yeah.
a
Right.
lineage, a line. And I think at one time, Jamel was doing ancestry.
She's really
He's
good.
got all
on it.
kinds
So
of
she
stuff.
sent me a picture of a lady. I remember her name was Elizabeth, America Elizabeth or something, Skaggs. They call her Lizzie. And I think it was our great grandfather's sister.
Skaggs' sister.
Yeah,
Right.
on the Skaggs side.
Yeah.
But you know, Miss you know, we called her cousin Minnie. That was granddad's sister.
See, I didn't.
Minnie O'Banion.
Minnie O'Bannon.
Minnie O'Banion.
That was granddad's sister.
Yeah.
And Uncle Claude.
realize that.
We didn't know that
Uncle
was
Claude.
granddad's brother.
Did we call
Yeah.
him Cousin Claude or Uncle Claude or
We
what
called
did we
him
call you?
Uncle Claude.
Brother
I remember calling him
Smith.
cousin, but I remember Uncle Claude.
We called him
Claude-
cousin
Claude
till
Smith.
he died.
Yeah.
Then he was uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, cousin
Uncle
Claude
Claude.
Smith. Then he
And
was
and,
uncle.
and I blame Mama Eve and Papa Eve and all of them because they wanted to keep it quiet. Maybe not
Yeah.
quiet, but they didn't. Maybe they were trying to get back at Granddad for, you know.
Well, there were so many secrets, like one of y'all said back in the day.
Yeah.
It was, you know, the time was of secrets, because even in Mama's diary, when she wrote something about, you know, she couldn't even write out the words. She had to put, remember I said so-and-so is GTHAB,
Going to have a baby.
going to have a baby.
Get out of here.
Oh.
Yeah, she put the initials in there. So-and-so is
Wow.
GTHAB. And I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
Going to have a
Yeah.
baby.
I remember one time at Walnut Hill, I don't know what church was there, but they had introduced me to this lady, you know, mom and daddy's daughter. This is Wildman. She was like, "You're named after me." Y'all remember that lady, Miss Wildman, president or
Wildman
whatever?
president.
That's why I'm president.
That was grandma's friend or grandma's
Yeah.
what?
Ain't she went to school with Aunt Noonie.
Yeah, that was Aunt Nooney's. Yeah, that was Aunt
Noonie,
Nooney's.
yeah.
Nooney's friend?
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah, she-
president.
Okay, because she was like,
See,
"You
and
named
both of them
after
and
me."
both
I'm
of them were
like,
teachers.
"Ma'am, I don't
Billy,
teach
put
that."
your camera down. I'm seeing the top. I ain't seeing your face.
Oh, Kenneth,
Man.
Billy, I see the top of I see
Let
everything
me-
but your face. Do a little bit. There we go. No, not yet. Up.
Yeah.
More.
But, yeah. Y'all.
There's something in front of my face. I can't see any. I can see the top. It's cutting all that out. This line here. Where it
Okay.
says Kenneth. Do I
You
need to
can
move
do
that?
just a little
I
bit
got a
up,
story about
so I
Miss
can see the
Wildman
top of your
president.
head. But anyway, I'm getting ready to share some pictures, and we'll talk about these pictures.
Now, this
And
line
then
wasn't in
we'll
it.
be
Kenny,
done.
I heard your story. You were telling me about it.
Huh?
About
Yeah.
Miss Wildman president, Kenny.
Oh,
Miss Wildman
Yeah,
president.
okay.
Yeah.
Martha Sue has started something.
Oh,
Oh,
I
something's
found
happening. I don't know what it is.
this it must be grandma's
Yes, I like it.
diary.
he
But
was-
you notice that's Mama's writing. And
Yes.
I had
Yeah.
sent this to you all in a group text because I did
Yeah.
not know that Papa Eve was the oldest citizen of Upton
And
at the time of his death. Did y'all know?
Yeah.
yes, I think
Yeah.
he was.
I
Yes.
did not know that.
But do
think he
y'all
was.
remember? Y'all remember us calling them Eve and Mary?
I just remember Mama Eve and Papa Eve.
Mama Eve and Papa Eve.
We called them
Yes.
Eve and Mary because that's what they called each other. And we were around them. And somebody told us that y'all don't call them Eve and Mary, but we were. I was. I'm probably me
I
and
can say
Jimmy.
you were. By the time I
Yeah,
came along,
probably you
I
and
knew
Jimmy.
better.
And they said,
Yeah, we were
that's
uncle.
Mama
Yeah,
Eve.
that's right.
Call them
Eve.
Mama Eve and
Mama.
Papa Eve. We were calling them Eve and Mary, just
That's
what
right.
she called him and what he called her.
You're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Look,
Early
y'all
on.
older ones, older ones
remember
was
saying
disrespectful. Us younger ones was fine.
Yeah.
we didn't know any better.
But look, it said he was active until the
Right.
end, becoming ill Friday night. And then if you look at that date, and he died on a Saturday. I didn't realize he was that old when he passed away, or that he was the
Yeah.
oldest member.
Yes.
And Billy, you
Yeah.
said it wasn't a janitor. You
Really
said
was.
he had another name, but it said he was a
He
janitor.
was the section.
The section.
Sexton.
Sexton, yeah,
Sexton.
yeah.
The church.
Yeah.
It said
Of
for
the- of
60 years before I
Uh-huh.
didn't, and then
60 years.
who knew? I did not know, but see where it says his survivors include, and it says it just says
That's it.
2 sisters also survived.
Right.
Right.
But it
Yeah,
said
2
foster
sisters also
daughters.
survived.
I always thought that they were somehow kin to grandma.
They
They
were.
were.
Yeah.
Well, how come it's got foster daughters down
I
there?
don't know. Somebody didn't know how to write. They
Because
should let Mama wrote.
I think they just put that there because they
Yeah.
raised them.
But they call Walter a foster child, a foster son
A
too.
foster son.
Yeah, because they raised
Did
them.
it,
They
huh?
didn't have any children of their own.
Sure is.
They
Foster
they
son.
raised. Now grandma was Mama
Yeah.
Eve's sister's daughter.
So there was
Right,
a niece. So
yes.
that's why I thought it would have said
I
niece and
see.
nephew.
I see.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
but their relationship was more like a daughter instead of a niece. I guess
Right.
that's what
Another mama was her name, with what we called her.
Another mama was who?
Yeah.
Martha Miles. That was grandma's mother. She was Mama Eve's
Yes.
sister.
Okay,
History,
so
boy.
that might be okay. Okay,
That's the name I pitched to you that day, Martha Sue.
okay, that's okay. So, but then Oma and I, when I was home in September, we went down to Jenkins Cemetery, and here's the gravestone of Mama Eve and Papa Eve. Whoever's
Mhm.
keeping
Right.
it up is keeping it up very good. Now, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
saying in a
yeah,
previous episode,
Eunice's brother.
Papa Eve, I think his funeral, Billy, was on your birthday because he died on March 23rd. And I
Mhm.
think his funeral was the 26th. And then I didn't remember that Mama
Mhm.
Eve was born on Jimmy's birthday.
Right.
I didn't either.
I
Mhm.
didn't know that.
Sure didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then on Daddy's side, of course,
Mhm.
Daddy's father, mother, and you can see like that picture I showed of the church. She's just a young
Uh-huh.
Christian. That looks like
Yeah.
great grandma Dora.
Yeah.
And this is Daddy
Sure
That was
does.
named after Scott Skaggs.
and great grandpa Scott,
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Howard Arthur.
Now wait a minute.
Billy,
Now
this
she
is
looks
you
like
right here. This is you all day long.
the one, but the one holding the
Uh-huh.
baby looks younger than the mama though, doesn't
Mama.
she?
Mhm.
Don't you think she does?
No.
Skin, boy.
Yeah.
She looked like well, he looks relatively newborn to me. And
Yeah,
she,
he
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
she like, I'm tired. I just
Look
put
at that
all this
hair.
out.
Yeah. She
I
died.
don't know
I'm tired. Leave
Look
me
at his
alone.
hair.
yeah, I don't know
She
why y'all got
died.
to take
Take
a
Look at his
this,
picture.
hair,
take this
though.
baby. Take this baby.
Exactly. But then also when me and Oma went down there just to see again, this is Dora and Scott Skaggs, and then we also saw their headstones.
Yeah.
Now I don't know their actual birth dates, but it's interesting to note that 2 years after Mama's diary ended, then he passed away. And then Dora in 1950. And I don't know, do y'all know, did she die before or after Mom and Daddy were married?
I don't know.
Because
I'm thinking that they waited till she passed before they married.
really,
Ooh.
Because he took care of her. And I don't know that.
you know
I don't
what?
know
That could be though. That could very well be.
Yeah.
And
because I don't see any pictures where that she was with them in the early house.
In their pictures, yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even have
Right.
pictures of the early house. And that's another thing. I'm gonna put y'all on blast because it's recorded. I ask y'all for pictures. I ask y'all for and I didn't get their picture from nobody, so I had to scrounge around and get the pictures myself.
You already got the pictures, baby.
Anyway, so
You already got them. You must have them all. We don't have any.
okay. And but you know what? Because these are important because there's a guy that I went to high school with, and he had wrote something, it was around Father's Day, that he doesn't have any pictures of his parents. And I just thought that, you know, like, I guess growing up and stuff, he doesn't have any pictures of his
Oh, yeah.
parents. And then some of the old pictures that we do have, even on the Purcell side, one of my nieces that lives in Texas will say, oh, thank you for sharing these pictures. We don't have any of these. So these pictures are important. To me, this is an important part of our heritage.
Now this picture here of Aunt Belle, Unc is holding the baby.
I'm getting ready to show one of both of them.
Okay, go right ahead. Yeah.
I think well, look though first before we get to that one.
Oh,
Mammy.
Aunt Mary.
Mammy.
I said Mammy to me.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what this was at Sunrise Manor.
Now who's the lady in front of her here then?
My kid.
That looks like James Albert right there.
That's Forty.
Sure is.
I love
40.
that picture. It's like he's at a shooting gallery or something, like at the fair.
Yeah.
I think that's a camera at the bank. That's how he got his start. John Dillinger. You know he had money.
Caesar.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this picture.
Howard. Arthur.
I do too.
I can't get it bigger. Anyway, y'all have seen this picture.
Yeah.
There we go.
And that's the little muse. This was a cold day in February. Lord, it was cold.
Dragging them logs out. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Daddy was a very hard worker. Okay, so we run out of time.
Did Daddy raise a crop of corn one time with a mule? 40 acres or something like that?
I'm sure he did.
He raised 40 acres with a mule. Do you think about that?
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine.
The rest of their lives together.
And then there's their wedding day. And like I said, Daddy,
bro, look at him.
Daddy wasn't at the very, very end of the diary. It was 1946. At the very, very end, I'm like, okay, Howard, come on through. And then it took him another 4 years, I guess, to marry her. But that's okay. You know, he was slow and steady and wins the race.
No, he wasn't either. He had to run for a while. Ain't no slow.
It says on December the
break off with all the other ones.
1946, a lovely chest containing 2 pounds of candy from Howard.
Oh, get it.
Wow.
Knife.
2 pounds of
candy. 2 pounds.
Like, go ahead.
Pounds of candy.
And then, of course, there's Mom and Daddy's, gravestone. But this is what I want to ask last thing, because it says we're running out of time again. And I showed this, I think, to Billy. I showed it to Aunt. Who is this woman?
Like an Indian.
It was in Grandma's Bible. Is that Martha Miles?
Well,
I don't know.
But it looks like she's leaning up against something right here. But that's a grainy picture. That's as clear as I could get on that picture. I don't know who that is. And I'm wondering if that's Martha Miles. Because Billy, didn't you say something about somebody was a preacher in?
Yeah, she was.
She was a preacher.
Yeah, that's what they, of course, that was frowned upon back then, but yes.
Right.
I mean, but Martha Miles, she was well known at the church and all of that, but I don't know if this picture is her.
Really?
I'm gonna find that picture. I did not have it up there, but I'm gonna find that picture before we get off. Somebody talk. Well, I gotta go find some pictures. Well, one picture. Somebody take over while I find this one picture.
Okay.
Of Aunt Belle and Uncle.
Oh, with the babies.
Okay, I found it. Look, y'all slow. Y'all just
Get up.
huh? Yeah, I'm like, y'all. Hey, do this picture. Okay, here it is right here. Let me make it bigger. There it is.
So that is Eddie, that's Ann and Jimmy.
Is it? Wait a minute. Okay.
They too close together.
I don't think
No,
so.
because they wouldn't be that close in.
They,
Right.
No,
yeah,
I
but like I
don't
say,
think
they too
that's
close
us.
together.
I don't think that's me and
No.
Jimmy.
No, because y'all wouldn't.
this
Y'all
may
a
be,
year apart.
You
and
know
I
who
don't know when the Clarks came into this part of the country. These are foster children or what?
Yeah. it
But
could
no,
be.
you know who I think it might be Sarah Elizabeth.
And who?
Very well.
I'm not sure.
Who's the
But
other
I'm
one?
thinking one might be Sarah Elizabeth.
Huh?
Very well
Dark,
could
so
be.
that's probably Jimmy. Darker than the rest of us.
Jimmy, me and Jimmy wasn't that close
No,
in.
in size and age.
No.
What's the difference in y'all's age? And
May, June, July,
Like
August,
me,
September.
Jimmy.
A year and 4
years
months.
at least.
A year and 4 months.
Yeah.
okay, y'all were closer than, and because Jimmy and I were 18 months difference.
That can't be right.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop that. But again, yeah, we says we're running out of time. But thank you all. This was fun. We
It
need to get
was
together
fun.
and do this again because
Yes, it
we,
was.
we have more stories to tell and more pictures if somebody would send me some. Anyway, I saw that on. Anyway, stay
Anybody
on here.
got known?
Stay on here while I wrap it up officially, but just stay on. Don't go anywhere. So that's all for today. Thank you all again for tuning in. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to Memories of Margaret on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. Don't forget to tune in every other Tuesday at 8 a.m. for more poetry and stories. Now, we are nearing the end of season 1 with only 5 more episodes to go. Now, in the next episode, I plan to share more stories along with some of Mama's word search puzzles. And then after that, hopefully, each remaining episode of season 1 will include a guest. So remember, if you would like to be a guest on a future episode, please leave a message on the Facebook page, Memories of Margaret, or send an email to memoriesofmargaretnaomi@gmail.com. So until next time, make memories with your family. Thank you.